Namaskar. My name is Ruby Kaul and I'm 14 years old going into grade 10.
Namaskar. My name is Dave Kaul and I'm 12 years old and going into grade 7. We both attend Aldershot Public School in Burlington, Ontario, Canada.
Today we are proud to share an important piece of our history of our Kashmiri roots through the amazing story of Lalleshawari, a Kashmiri mystic and poet who changed the perception of Hinduism for all Kashmiris.
That's right. Let's begin. This is our entry for the 2022 Sharada Peeth short video contest. Lalleshawari, the Kashmiri mystic.
Daddy, can you please tell us a story? Please, Daddy. It's been a long time since you've told us one. How about a story on Kashmir?
Sure. Do you know who the mystic Lalleshawari is?
A mystic?
Yes. Lalleshawari was a famous and wise mystic, someone who wishes to connect themselves with God forever. She was also a poet. She is known as Lal Dad, which means Lal, the mother.
Ooh, tell us more about her.
Of course, in the 1320s, the region of Kashmir was attacked by Zulchur, a Muslim tribal chief from Central Asia. As you know, Kashmir was ruled by Hindu kings at the time, and this invasion caused the demise of the last Hindu king of Kashmir, Sahadev. It was a terrible time. Thousands were murdered, and many were forced to convert to Islam, identified through takiyas, white hats associated to their religion. Fact check.
I don't know why
I'm reading this. To make the state of people even worse, Kashmir was invaded once again and annexed by a king from Swat in Pakistan, Shah Mir. He created a new dynasty in Kashmir called the Shah Mir dynasty. However, during that time, a baby girl was born in modern-day Srinagar.
That's where Auntie lives.
Yes, her name was Lalleshawari, or more commonly known Lalla. Not much is known about her childhood, but she was born around 1326. When she was about 12, she was married to a man named Sona Pandita. However, this marriage was far from a happy one.
What do you mean?
Her mother-in-law, Sona's mother, was very cruel to Lalla. She failed to treat her properly. Did you know when guests came over, the mother-in-law would put a rock under a thin layer of rice? This would make the guests think that she was treating Lalla properly and feeding her well.
That's so evil.
Isn't it? But Lalla never got mad. Occasionally, Lalla would cross a nearby river to venerate Shivaji at a neighborhood temple. With Shivji beside her every day, Lalla never misbehaved with her in-laws and tolerated whatever came her way. One day, her mother-in-law poisoned her son's brain, telling him that Lalla did unknown things when she crossed the river to fetch water. When she came back, Lalla's husband got mad at her and smashed a clay pot that carried the water from the river. However, the water stayed on her head as the clay pot broke. It is said that the excess water formed a lake nearby.
Really?
At 24, Lalla left her toxic residence to do sannyas, religious cleansing, and sought this guidance from Guru Siddha Shrikant, unsatisfied with the normal life. As time progressed, she evolved into a learned and educated devotee, attaining all body consciousness or avaduta. She learned the ways of Kashmiri Shaivism, which is the worship of Shivji. She started to write 4-line poems called Vaks, which means sayings in Sanskrit. She wrote many of these poems, which she is famous for.
Can you tell us some of these poems?
In this Vak, Lalleshawari wrote that her everyday life was in worship of Shivji. Ye kurum swe atsun, ye rasini vichorum ti mantar, ye he lagamu da haspatsun, su parasivum tantar. Whatever work I did became worship of the Lord. Whatever word I uttered became a mantra. Whatever this body of mine experienced became the daily proverbs of Shaiva Tantra, a religious practice illuminating my path. Here's one that I was told when I was a little girl. Maruk marabut kam krud lu, nate kan barit marane pam, mane kin dik swet sara sham, vishe tihun kya kyut doa zum. Slay the murderous demons, desire anger and greed, else aiming their arrows at you, they will surely shoot you dead. Feed them on self control and judgment of yourself. Thus starved, these demons will become powerless and weak.
So we should always keep ourselves controlled to avoid the 3 demons?
Yep. With these walks, Lalleshawari could communicate what the public couldn't understand. These poems were something that the public would refer to without judgment of who wrote them. The literature on the Lord Shivji. She would roam around clothless, singing and venerating Shivji in the streets. She challenged the social norms by not wearing clothes and also by living the materialistic life. Many people did not take her seriously for this, but it showed that one must leave all distractions and material possessions for God.
How did she survive?
Important part of Lala's story is when a silk merchant felt pity for Lala when he saw people ridiculing her, especially since she was a woman. He gave her a piece of cloth to wear. However, she did not wear it. She weighed the fabric, and every time someone praised or taunted her, she would tie a knot. When she would weigh the fabric again, it was the same weight, showing that comments of any kind made no difference to her. It is shown in this walk. Gal Gandhianyam Bol Padinyam Dapinyam Tiya Yi Utse Shaza Kusamu Pooz Karinyam Bo Amulun Takas Kya Muvutse. They may abuse me or jeer at me. They may say what pleases them. They may worship me with flowers. What profits them when they do? I am indifferent to praise and blame.
So that means we should not let rude comments weigh us down and not let praise get to us.
She also translated Sanskrit, the ancient language of Hindu texts, into Kashmiri. This made it accessible for all of the general public to read and understand them without a teacher. Kashmir, where the land is riddled with conflict, Muslims and Hindus alike remember the sacrifices of Lala. She died around 1373 when she was 50 or so years old. It is said that when she died, her soul attained moksha, breaking the cycle of rebirth, and melted into a mere flame, dissolved into Shivji, and ultimately into Brahman himself.
Whoa, that was such an interesting story. I didn't know any of this. Thank you so much for telling us this story, Daddy. I learned a lot.